Last winter, I rented a cabin in northern Minnesota for a week. I'd just gone through a rough breakup and wanted time alone. Snow. Silence. No cell service. The place looked perfect online. A small wooden cabin by a frozen lake, surrounded by pine trees. When I got there, it was exactly that. Peaceful. Quiet. Maybe too quiet. The owner had left the keys under a mat, and inside everything smelled faintly like wood smoke and old blankets. There was a small fireplace, a couch, and a single bedroom. That first night, I made soup, read for a bit, and fell asleep around 11. Sometime around 3 a.m., I woke up, freezing. The fire had gone out, but that wasn't what woke me. It was footsteps. Slow, careful steps on the wooden floorboards right outside my bedroom door. I froze completely. My first thought was that the owner came back, maybe forgot something, but then the floor creaked closer, then stopped. I whispered, "Hello?" Nothing. I slowly reached for my phone, but it was dead. I hadn't charged it since I got there. I lay still for what felt like hours, every muscle tense, until I heard the front door open. The wind howled and then silence again. In the morning, I found the front door wide open and fresh boot prints leading out into the snow, but none coming in. When I told the owner later, she said, "You sure you stayed in cabin 3? I checked the email. Cabin 3, definitely." She paused and said, "That one's been boarded up since last year. Frozen pipes. Nobody's supposed to be in there. I don't know who I spent the night with." 2 winters ago, my girlfriend and I took a weekend trip to a cabin resort in Colorado. There were about 6 cabins in total, each spaced far apart. We stayed in number 4, and number 5 next door was supposed to be empty. On the second night, around midnight, we started hearing music, a faint piano melody coming from the direction of the other cabin. At first, it was kind of peaceful, like an old music box song, but it didn't stop. It just kept looping. I went outside to check, but the snow was heavy and visibility was low. I could still see a dim orange light flickering through cabin 5's window. The next morning, we mentioned it to the receptionist. She looked confused and said that cabin 5 hadn't been rented in weeks. No power, no keys given out. That night, it happened again. This time, louder. The piano, and now, a woman's voice humming softly with it. I grabbed my flashlight and trudged through the snow. When I got close enough to see through the window, my stomach dropped. There was someone inside. A woman sitting at an upright piano, back turned, long dark hair covering her face. The light flickered from a single candle beside her. I called out, "Hello." She didn't move. Then the candle went out, instantly, and when my flashlight beam hit the window, the cabin was completely empty. We left that night. As we drove past, my girlfriend swore she saw someone standing on the porch of cabin 5, just watching us go. This happened during my job as a ranger in Alaska. We had a storm warning, so I was checking on remote cabins used by hikers. Most were already vacated for the winter, but one was still registered as occupied. When I got there, the cabin was half buried in snow. The windows were fogged over, and there was no smoke from the chimney. I knocked, called out, nothing. When I went inside, it was clear no one had been there in days. The fireplace was cold. The sleeping bag was zipped up tight, but there were footprints on the floor, fresh ones, leading to the door I'd just come through. That didn't make sense. Outside, the snow was blowing hard, but I noticed more prints leading around the side of the cabin, barefoot, small, like a child's. I followed them about 20 feet before they just stopped. No return trail, no sign of where they went. Then I heard it faint, muffled, almost like someone whispering my name through the wind. "David." I turned, and the cabin door was swinging open. Inside, the footprints on the floor were gone. Completely gone. I bolted back to my snowmobile and didn't stop until I reached base. Later, one of the older rangers just nodded when I told him what happened. He said, "Those cabins are built on old mining camps. Every winter, someone sees or hears something out there." When I asked what he thought it was, he said quietly, "Not what, kid? Who? Have you ever experienced something you can't explain? Share your story in the comments."